getting the experience to record with Steven Tyler for a single he released after he put a book out and put a single out along with it. I think it was called "It Feels So Good," or I think, and but yeah, just I was working with the producer who co-wrote it with him, and we were doing something else, and they said, "Hey, Steven's in town, and I've got drum machine on this song. You want to do it tomorrow?" Because we were all set up and we were recording, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Yeah. So, but it was really cool just because, you know, we've heard all the stories about, you know, I guess Steven's he's a drummer initially, and he could be maybe, you know, I don't want to say difficult, but he could have definite ideas of what he wants in the studio, and maybe that's become a thing between him and Joey Kramer or whatever. And I grew up on Aerosmith, and I love Joey's drumming, and I mean, that was, thinking back, that was Aerosmith was huge in my, you know, formative years of learning how to play drums. So much of it's just Joey's drumming is great, it's sensible, and you can understand it, and he plays for the song, but there's great stuff inside it, and he's solid as shit, you know. And I look back, I'm like, God, I played, you know, thousands of hours to Aerosmith records back then, you know. But anyways, just to, you know, to fast forward all these years and be in the studio with Steven, and he was super cool, and we had, you know, I had the song, we checked it out the night before when he came in, so I had my parts sort of planned out, and but yeah, this is a bit of a long-winded story to your question, but
that's cool, man.
But it's just a cool story because I was totally nervous, you know. It's Steven freaking Tyler, right? And so he and Marty, the producer, behind the control room window, and all right, go for it. So I did a take, and they instantly go to the chorus, and they start A-Bing my drum take with the drum machine. And I'm like, oh man, they're probably listening to groove and feel, and, you know, am I locked in? Am I pushing? Am I pulling? Oh God, Steven's probably not happy. You know, I'm like bugging out, thinking this could be a really sucky experience, you know. And why do they keep playing this A-Bing these, you know, my version to the original? Like, what's, you know, this chorus? And Steven gets on the talk back, and he's like, hey, do you have another snare drum with higher pitch with some more ring to it? And I was like, okay, they were listening. He likes the snare drum on the demo, you know, and I go, yeah, hold on. I went and grabbed another snare and cranked it up and put it on. And then they said, all right, cool, you know, do another take. And I did another take, and they A-B'd quickly again. And then Marty's like, hey, come on in. I came in the control room, and Steven looked at me and said some really nice things, complimented me, and I was like, cool, all right. So it was really about the snare tone and the snare pitch, and that was it. They played it. We listened a little bit here and there to this section, that section, and Marty's like, yeah, I think we got it. Stevie's like, all right, great, and that was it. We were done. So it was
wow.
a 2-take thing, but yeah, but you know, just those are great experiences to be able to work with somebody that's just he doesn't realize how much of an effect his band and him as a musician and singer songwriter has had on me. And you don't want to go in there and start babbling all about that. You're there to do a job and, you know, make them happy with the drums. But you're like, man, there's so much I want to say. But at the same time, I'm not going to, you know, this guy, he gets it all the time. You know, this is his life. This is, you know, people coming up to him. And so I just want to be cool and get the job done. And I definitely don't want to see implications on his end that I'm bothering him by like over talking and babbling about, you know, whatever. But anyways, at the end of the day, I was loading up the drums, and he came in and he starts just talking to me as I'm packing up and telling me he used to carry drums around. He was a drummer too. And it's just he and I in the studio at the end of the day. And I probably could have said a lot then, because I gained his respect as far as, you know, getting the job done in the studio, you know, but I didn't. I just had I probably didn't know where to start, you know, but I did have my ticket from seeing Aerosmith in high school, which he signed.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, but like, you know, so that was just really cool, because after that he called me a couple years later to do a fundraiser, John Varvatos fundraiser with him and Joe Perry and Robert DeLeo on bass from Stone Temple Pilots, and we got to rehearse the day before that, and we just played, I don't know, like 10 classic Aerosmith songs, and the rehearsal was just amazing to be in a room with him and Joe Perry and play their songs. It's like they don't realize that I was literally a 9-10-year-old kid playing the Aerosmith live bootleg and Toys in the Attic and, Rocks and learning how to play drums to those two guys, their music, that I'm sitting here now playing Walk This Way with them and Sweet Emotion and Dream On and stuff I grew up, learning how to play drums too. So those experiences just make it all worth it. When you have ups and downs, you go, hey man, there was times where I've been in these places I never thought I'd be. So, it doesn't mean every day you're going to wake up and the phone rings for some iconic artist to call you and you're working with them. But hey, if it happened here, and here, and here, and it's been decades later, I'm still doing it. Well, that gives you hope. It gives you hope to think that, as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, there's always going to be a need for a drummer somewhere, one way or another. And hopefully with a little luck and decent timing, as far as drummer timing and timing, just timing throughout your life, you end up in a position where you can take advantage of those opportunities, So, but yeah, that stood out just because it was a one-off recording experience. And I don't know how many drummers have actually recorded with Steven Tyler, So, that was I think that was a really standout thing.